sound. Check 1, 2.
Yes.
Check 1, 2. Mic test sound. Check sound.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 1, 2. A month of grueling competition, 10 teams, 37 matches. And it has led us all here at one of the hallowed grounds of Philippine sports. We open a new chapter in the top men's volleyball league in the country. The Open Conference has been special. Buckle up for a wild finish. This is where power meets passion. Welcome to the 2025 Spikers Turf Open Conference, the finals.
Kailangan namin i-defend yung kung ano yung na-achieve namin nung last conference sa last na liga namin. Ma-expect nila na na magpe-perform kami ng maayos ngayon and mag-e-enjoy sila and makuha namin yung panalo.
Ibang usapan na tong bronze medal match. So, kung ano man nangyari nung past games namin, wala na yun. Burado na sa isip ng mga tao yun. Ma-expect nila na magandang laban to kasi yun nga, nag-prepare din sa Savouge. So, lahat kami palaban this time. So, ayun, talagang expect nila na magandang laban to.
It was a 4-set match between VNS and Savouge in the semifinals, the longest among the 3 battles of these two teams in the 2025 Open Conference. It was actually a prelude to what we are going to see, the best of 3 battle for bronze in our campaign. So let's see if Savouge can actually continue with their momentum as Mark Calado and company was able to dominate against VNS, especially at the ending part of their match. It was actually a thrilling fashion the way that they closed things out in the semifinals. 28-26 was the final score in set number 4. VNS out today to get some retribution against Savouge, and later on, our championship series will begin. The battle between the Signal HD Spikers and the Crisscross Skin Crunchers, 2 of the top teams that we have in Philippine volleyball nowadays. Thank you for joining us, folks, as we come to you live from the Rizal Memorial Coliseum in Manila. This is Mix Gomez at your service. Happy to be working with Paneng, the Koenig Sporter, and Bailey's Akot will be our courtside reporter. Paneng, as I mentioned, 4 sets, kumanda lalo, no? Yung naging matchup natin between DNS and Savouge, as from what we saw in the previous game.
Well, definitely. It was a close match, especially no first and fourth set. Though nung second and third, medyo malayo yung score eh. But we will expect an exciting match this game 1. This is a very important game for both squads.
Well, let's break down first the journey of the Savouge Spin Doctors. No twists for them in the semifinals. It was actually quite unfortunate that they weren't able to extend their matches against Signal and Crisscross. It was only versus VNS that they reached 4 sets.
That's right. Though medyo mahirapan din itong Savouge because if they want to reach the finals, they have to defeat a Crisscross Crunchers and a Signal HD Spikers. But yun na nga, like what you mentioned, natalo sila doon in straight sets. But they won against VNS-Laticrete in 4 sets. So that was a tight match. And coming into this game, you know, they have the momentum and they already know the game of their opponent. So they have the edge here in this game.
We have to continue honoring the program of Coach Sidney Calderon. After all, they are a team on the rise here in the Spikers Turf. They have impressed us in the first 2 rounds of this tournament. And of course, the arrival of Mark Calado meant so much to their franchise. Buboy, once upon a time, scored 36 points in one game.
In one game, grabe yung points na yon na nakuha ni Mark Calado. But other than that, in their 13 previous matches this conference, si Mark Calado yung leading scorer for VNS in 11 games. So 11 out of 13, he is the leading scorer for their squad. And though going back to the semifinals, bantay sarado siya ng crisscross and nag-signal, which means they were able to scout him very well and limited yung points niya doon for that game. But nakabawi naman siya against VNS where he scored 28 points.
So more than half of his semifinal output came in that matchup versus VNS. And let me also give his efficiency at 53% attack efficiency in that previous game. So can he translate that into our Battle of Bronze series? Now let's talk about their opponents. Volleyball never stops. The VNS Griffins, who actually were underdogs the semifinals. So just like the story of Savouge, they weren't able to score a set against Signal and Crisscross, but then they ended on a high.
That's right. But on the brighter side naman, kahit na sila yung underdogs and wala sila na panalo ng semifinals, they have a chance pa rin to fight for bronze because yung last nila was nung 2022 Open Conference. And this time, nakapasok naman na sila sa Battle for Third. And though wala nga silang panalo noon, but this is the start where they can prove na kaya rin nilang manalo.
2022 pa rin. Yung time na yun, may Kim Malabunga pa.
Yes.
Meron pang Ish Polvorosa ang VNS ngayon. They're being led by the youngest captain in the league in CJ Segi, who hasn't even stepped foot in the UAAP yet. And here he is, not slowing down in the Spikers turf.
Definitely not slowing down. The 20-year-old winger has been resilient for the VNS squad. And he finally scored in double digits in their final outing of the semifinals, where he scored 17 points. So for this semifinals, he was able to get 32 points na agad with 28 attacks, 3 blocks, and 1 service A. So madami pa tayong makikita dito kay CJ Segi because like what you mentioned, bata pa itong player na ito.
That's just his scoring numbers. He also had 10 digs and 16 exited receptions in their previous game, a triple-double for CJ Segi. Now let's for our Pilipinas Live poll question.
Thank you so much, Migs and Baneng. Shout out to all of our volleyball fans out there in the Philippines and all around the world, ladies and gentlemen. This is the finals. We have a battle for third ready for you guys, and also a poll question for you to engage in. Our poll question is, which team will break through in Game 1? Again, which team will break through in Game 1? Hashtag SpikersTurf 2025 on X, Twitter, and on Facebook. And we have our starting lineups ready for you guys. We're turning it over to our venue announcer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rizal Memorial Coliseum in Manila and Season 8, the Open Conference of the Spikers Turf, where power meets passion. This is day 1 of the final round, a best-of-3 series where the winner of 2 matches gets the bronze medal. For match number 37, let us welcome our Savouge Aesthetics Spin Doctors and their challengers, our very young VNS-Laticrete Griffins. Presenting our international officials for this match. First referee, Miss Joy De Imos, international referee. Second referee, Mr. Angelo Hao, international referee candidate. Let's welcome our starting lineup from our Savouge Aesthetics Spin Doctors. Let's begin with jersey number 4, Gils Jeffer Torres. At number 6, Mark Frederick Calado. Wearing jersey number 9, Renzel Antonio. At number 10, John Michael Paglaon. Number 16, Luis Gaspar Gamban. And number 20, Angelo Reyes. Starting libero is number 5, Rico Marius Marmeto. Head coach is Sidney Calderon. Calling on our VNS-Laticrete Griffins. Let's begin with their team captain. He wears jersey number 8, Charles Jordan Segi. At number 3, Jan Mangulabnan. Wearing jersey number 6, Kenneth Kulabat. At number 7, JV Sumagaysay. Number 14, Rash Nursidik. And number 24, Brian Haleko. Starting libero is number 2, Kurt Quezon. Head coach, Mr. Ralph Ocampo. This is match number 37, game 1 of the finals for the bronze.
We're looking at the starters of the Savouge Spin Doctors. It will be the second start of the conference for Renzel Antonio, who impressed a lot of people in the previous game, having scored 16 points versus VNS. He joins the crew with Gils Torres, Buboy Calado, and Paige Paglaon, a couple of the usual starters in this conference for Savouge. On the other end for VNS, usual names. Ang wala lang po dito ay ang kanilang opposite spiker na si RK Medino, who apparently is sick, so get well soon to RK. That gives another opportunity for Brian Haleko to step up at the right pin for Coach Ralph Ocampo. This is game number 1 of their Battle for Bronze Best of 3 series in the Spikers Turf 2025 Open Conference. VNS will attack with Rashnor Sidik. He's covered by Kurt Quezon, and here's CJ Segi. That's saved by Antonio. Paglaon back to Renzel, and he will score.
Off the block. First point for Savouge.
Paneng, aren't you happy for Renzel Antonio? I asked him what's been going on with their journey dito sa Savouge after a couple of conferences, and he told me it's just a matter of waiting for the perfect time na mabigyan siya ng oras sa loob at makapagpakitang gilas kina Coach Sidney Calderon and company. Now he's looking good.
That's right. And actually, not just him, you know, the whole squad. Tapos, ang ganda pa na pinapakita nila. And I mean, they improved from their previous conference. And now they're here. A chance to win the bronze for their squad.
This is Mark Calado with an easy drop against Jan Mangulabnan. 2 points early in this match for the Spin Doctors. Loy Sagamban with a power serve. Mangulabnan onto the quick. Nursidik denied. This time it's Segi. That's long, but he wants a touch, and he will get it.
Yes, there was a block touch. Ang taas ng daan ng bola niya. Akala nung Savouge it was going outside. But good contact there from CJ Segi.
That's the first point of VNS in the Battle for Bronze series. Rash Nursidik, received by Marmeto. He played it fast, and Buboy Calado will get the point.
Just targeting the hands of Sumagaysay and scored off the block.
It's now 3-1, Gils Torres. Check that. I've been so used to calling him Gils.
Ano
I
daw
got
ba
the
ang tama?
official pronunciation. It's Gils.
Gils, okay.
Pronounce it like it's J.
Okay.
All right, let's get used to it once again. Calado, that's very tight.
Yeah, it was. But at least he tried to send it over, but that error will give a free point to VNS.
As we have been mentioning, it was actually relatively tight between these two in the semifinals. The game reached 4 sets, with VNS winning the opening set 26-24. We saw 2 extended sets in that game. Antonio, wow, a lot of power there from Renzel.
That's right. But, you know, open block on the cross court. So, ang daming dadaanan nung attack ngayon on the opposite. Medyo na-late doon si Sumagaysay. Hindi na siya sumabay for the block.
Mangulabnan tried so hard to keep it alive, but then it didn't work. Renzel Antonio off to a good start, following up on his 16-point performance at nabati.
Nabati mo.
It happens a lot.
But at least it was a loaded serve and wala lang masyadong target doon. It sailed out.
Ball up by Angela Reyes. Calado off the combination.
Iniwas niya yung palo kay Sumagaysay.
Mark Calado, as we mentioned, the leading scorer in 11 of the 13 games in this conference for Savouge. That includes a 36-point outburst against Chris Cross in round 2. After that, in the semi versus VNS, he had 28, and his third best scoring performance was against Signal in round 2 with 25. This is Casey Culabat answering back from the left pin.
Grabe yung elevation na yun ni Culabat. Deserves a second look. Take a look at that approach. Right in between two blockers.
VNS closing in 4-5. The bump by Paglaon, back row for Antonio, and yes, that made it onto zone 5.
It did. And right on the corner pocket on the defense of VNS. Akala mo mag-outside pero saktong-sakto dun sa dulo ng court.
See, that's one of the reasons why I've been wondering kung ano nangyari kay Renzel Antonio. Because we've seen flashes of this before. It's just that, you know, the consistency is another challenge for Renzel in the Spikers turf. So at least meron ulit tayong nakikitang flashes. At
Yes.
nabibigyan siya ng panibagong pagkakataon to be consistent.
That's right. And that was a good point, no, is to be consistent. Kasi ang hirap na parang ang ganda ng start mo. Tapos habang tumatagal yung laro, nawawala yung aggressiveness and yung magandang laro.
Segi couldn't score from the back. Deep ball. Antonio. Still no good. Mangulabnan. On to KC. Block! Oh, tough coverage.
There was a three-man block in front of Culabat. Grabe, take a look at this. Kung gaano kasarado yung block na yun. Nowhere to go for Culabat. But the coverage was there. Hindi nga lang naka-response sa maayos on who will get the second ball.
It's now 7 serving 5. Paige Paglaon with a serve. Mangulabnan opens up. Pambawi. And the answer is yes from KC.
That was a smart move from KC. That was a powerful tip, targeting the hands of the down-the-line block.
Yan naman ang sanay sa diskarte. Sanay bilang underdog. Casey Culabat, even back from his collegiate days with UE. Never backing down against the powerhouse teams. That was a miss received by Calado. Antonio to the other end. And here's Jan. On to Segi. Ganda ng buwelo.
Yeah. It was inside and grabe nga yung buwelo na yun. Sobrang powerful approach pa lang. And take a look at that contact on the ball. Spin siya, pero parang sa lakas ng palo niya, nag-float na rin.
As long as it's in for
Yes.
CJ. And we have a deadlock at 7. So it's looking like how we started in the semis for VNS. And Savouge, another miss received. And Antonio will score off the block. He's been the bright spot for Savouge.
A good start here for Antonio. And with that point, we are
Spikers Surf Open Conference, the finals, and the youngest team in the league looking to grab that podium finish. So I was able to chat with the youngest team captain of the competition, CJ Segi. At nakwento sa akin ni CJ that he started his volleyball career in Concepcion Elementary School, Marikina, then to UST High School, and currently in Mapua High School. And CJ never imagined going pro first before stepping into the college hardcourt. But with Coach Ralph Ocampos' trust, him being the head coach of Mapua as well, CJ is the only recruit from Mapua to play for VNS. And CJ is grateful for that trust. At napag-usapan pa daw nila ni Coach Ralph na ang plano nila istaasan or erase yung value niya as a volleyball player. And CJ has been paying it forward to his coaches and to his teammates by playing his heart out. Now, CJ has more than 7 college offers and is overwhelmed by this. His long-term goal has always been to study in a good school and to play volleyball. Your thoughts, Migs and Paneng?
Wow, Paneng, 7 offers.
I know.
That's how big of a superstar he already is. Just so everybody knows, may 8 team po sa UAAP. So ano yun?
Lahat sila
Oo.
mag-uunahan. Good problem yan for Segi.
Of course. CJ, right on cue, will score a
Yeah.
point.
Kahit triple block in front of him, he used his smarts and used the hands of Gamban. Take a look at that again.
Alam mo, with the report of Bailey's, babalikan ko lang yung Pilipinas Live poll question natin. Which team will break through in Game 1? Yes, if you're watching on Pilipinas Live, do answer that. But I do have, something to also bring up to the community, the volleyball community, as
Yeah.
Buboy Calato scores with a cross. Ito naman ang tanong ko, itong Migs Gomez question natin
Oh my
for
gosh.
the day.
Okay, let's do this.
Kung ikaw ay isang volleyball fans, sa tingin mo, saan babagay? Saan college bagay si CJ Segi? As much as bumagay si Buboy Calada
Ang
dati sa
hirap
FEU.
naman. Ang hirap naman ng tanong mo.
Diba? Kaya kailangan pag-isipan ng mga fans natin yan. CJ Segi couldn't score there. And that defense of VNS right there, just unable to keep that ball alive.
Yeah, because it was already 4 touch.
That's the 5th point already of Renzel Antonio.
So far, a good start for Antonio. And siya yung parang hot hands ngayon for Savouge. Scoring a lot of points, especially on the opposite.
Ooh,
Oh,
miscue between Mangolagnan and Sumagaysay.
yep. Not a good connection between them. So they need to talk things out because yun na nga, we heard Segi said lumalayo na yung score ng Savouge. Kanina, 1 point lang yung lamang na kailangan nilang habulin. But this time, 3 points advantage na meron ang Savouge.
This is the biggest lead of the game. Haleko will answer back. There you go.
That's right. From the back row, Haleko. And a good set there from Mangolabna. Nakita niya na medyo hindi na nakakapatay yung mga spikers niya in front. So why not give it to the back row?
Make it 9-11. Paglaon. Oh, nice rejection by VNS.
Yeah. Courtesy of that triple block with Haleko, Segi, and Sumagaysay guarding that opposite spiker. Well, take a look at that again. I think it was Sumagaysay who got that kill block.
That is the first point of JV Sumagaysay in this game. Now there's a rotation error in Paneng. Don't look now. We have another deadlock.
3-0 run for the VNS Griffins.
Savouge will clear things up in terms of their positioning. This is what you have to love about VNS not backing down against one of the favorites in this conference. Pangulabnan.
Oh! Sayang yun. It was a loaded serve with a good target na short ball but sumabit sa net.
Ang tawag natin dyan, anti-climactic. A 3-0 run snapped by an own service error. And now we have Savouge presenting to us Renzel Antonio at 12-11. Service error naman mula sa kanya.
This is the third service error from Savouge, if I'm not mistaken. Hindi sila makakuha ng run because of their errors whenever they're in the service area.
Deadlock at 12. CJ sends it in safely. Calado.
Oh!
The tip read by Kurt Quezon. It's Kulabat. Yes.
Wow! Grabe, I saw his target there. Ang nipis ng palo niya on the cross court and really waiting for the hands of the blockers. At dun niya pinatalsik yung bola and got that point. Take a look at that again.
This is the first lead in the game for VNS. And they continue. Segi with a setup. Haleko, smart move.
Napahoy ako dun because I thought papaluin na ni Segi dahil ang ganda ng approach niya but biglang nag-set to Haleko. Take a look at that.
Isn't it that we see that a lot among international teams?
Yes. I think we saw that sa Team Japan, if I'm not mistaken. Ang daming ganun dun. But what about that cross-court hit from Calado? And again, open block on the cross.
That's something that we're also used to seeing. Buboy Calado with a monster hit. He's up to 5 points, tied with Renzel Antonio. So Magaysay couldn't make a drop. Jonas with a dig, and here's Lois Agamban.
Happy lang daw sila. We saw.
Kaya minsan mas nakakatuwa rin talaga kapag ano eh, no? may view ka ng lahat ng pangyayari.
Yes.
Ayan, ito. Sayang naputol sa replay. Pero ang ganda ng celebration ni Loisa. Aleko is blocked, coverage present. And here's Casey. Naitawid na yun. But a miss hit by Paglaon.
Sayang, but I mean, I saw his intention of targeting that area dahil walang nakapwesto doon na defense ng VNS. But it was just outside, too much of an angle.
15-14, VNS again with the lead. Marmeta first ball. It's Reyes reaching for it, and he touched the net. So it's VNS leading us to the second technical timeout, 16. Catch the 2025 NBA Play-In Tournament this April 16 to 19 only on NBA TV Philippines and on Filipinas Live. Hashtag everything counts. Well, hashtag everything counts as well right now for Mark Calado and Savouge alongside VNS as we are now in the battle for bronze series. Lois Agamban is denied at the net.
Medyo iningatan niya yung palo na dun ni Gamban. We saw his approach. And talagang bantay na yun ni Norsidic dahil ang baba lang din ang daan ng kanyang open hit.
With that, it's a 6-2 run for VNS. D-ball, Calado blocked, but it went out.
A much-needed point for Savouge to take the momentum away from VNS.
Mark Calado now up to 6 points in this game, overtaking Renzel Antonio as the leading scorer of the Spin Doctors. This is Angelo Reyes serving that ball in. Quezon, first ball. Kulabat off the block again.
Yeah. Kahit na walang cross-court block, still targeted that down the line and got that point off the block. Take a look at that again.
It's like he knew that it was going to go there all along. We have a double sub now. JC and Narciso and Mads Gampong. Gampong, we had high expectations for him as much as we had the same expectations for Mark Calado. The problem for Mads was nagka-dengue siya at the start of our conference. That's why he was gone for a while, as now there's a service error by VNS.
3-point given to Savouge. They only need 1 point now to tie the game at 17.
JC and Narciso, former star setter of Perpetual, sending that ball in. Kulabat. Nice save by Jonas. JC, back row. Calado denied. And Narciso now to the open. Gamban pushing it. Nice read by Norsidic. Back row for CJ Segi. Good chance for the yellow shirts. They send it right to Mads. Not the best of connections. Here's the counter with Rash. Longest rally, and it was interrupted and ended by the net.
Medyo na parang nagmadali doon si Diones na mai-over yung bola dahil nagkakagulo pa rin yung defense ng Savouge.
Just couldn't get it through. Now it's 19-16 VNS.
Oh, good serve.
Sharp serve, and Narciso quick. Nice read by Nursidik. Back row. Still good. JC on to Gils Torres.
Naguluhan sila dun sa jump set ni Narciso pero nakalimutan nila na back row setter siya. So kahit na tumalon siya doon na parang i-over niya yung bola, it'll be a violation. Kaya nakita mo yung mga blockers ng VNS nagsasabayan tumalon kay Narciso.
Lois Agamban and company not letting down against VNS 17-19. What happened there, Paning?
Ang pangit nung contact niya sa bola. Medyo pa side spin, but I think he was targeting yung zone 5 ng VNS, but too much of an angle, so definitely a error for Savouge.
Relax lang. Ano tayo, yung sabi ko nga kanina, ang error, tayo ang magkocontrol. Kaya natin kontrolin yung error natin. Ito pa-endgame na tayo. Wala na. We have to play perfect volleyball. Okay, idikit lang muna natin, dikit. Rally tayo, kapag nakataas yung bola, diskarte ha.
There's the sense of urgency from Coach Sidney Calderon. They're down by 3, 17-20 against VNS. Remember, they played 10 sets in this conference so far against the Griffins. And they've won 9 of those 10. So they don't want to let up right now because it's practically back to square one now that we are in the battle for bronze.
I agree. And kanina ang ganda nung start nila, but a good point there from Coach Sidney na yung errors is sila mismo yung nagbibigay ng errors nila. And those were 3 points given to VNS, but that was a good response from Savouge. Courtesy of that quick hit.
Let's see this hit by Gils Torres, getting his 3rd point in this matchup. He was supposed to be serving, but he was subbed out. It is Hero Austria who will be doing the honors for the Spin Doctors, their team captain. From the long-time friends of Coach Sidney herself. Segi. The save by Buboy, but apparently the ball already touched the ground.
And they will not challenge that call. Dahil wala, lumapag na sa floor, hindi yun nakuha ni Calado. But a quick side out there for the VNS Griffins.
It's now 21-18. Jan Mangulabnan has 4 excellent sets. And Narciso to the open. Nice effort there by Quezon. And here's CJ Segi. And Narciso, back row for Loisa. JV right there. Here's the counter. Sumagaysay. Yes, sir.
Yes. Fast drop there from Sumagaysay. But ngayon, nakikita natin, Mangulabnan already activating his middle attackers. That's why medyo nawawala yung blocking formation nitong Savouge.
Jan Mangulabnan now proceeds to the service line. It is 22-18. VNS looking really good. And Narciso. Oh, that's a quick hit by Angelo Reyes.
Not just quick, pero a strong one. Dahil nakita niya, wala nang blockers in front of him. Or there was a huge space there in between 2 blockers. And what about that elevation and hang time?
Something that we've seen the past couple of years of the middle blockers of UE. They had that identity in the UAAP. Yan, sila ni na Gils Torres, Angelo Reyes. At mabuti, nagsama ulit sila dito sa Savouge. This is Renzel Antonio, who had himself a nice start with 4 points earlier. And they play perfect volleyball as asked by Coach Sidney. Haleko, hole in the middle.
You saw the huge opening there in the defense of Savouge. naantay nila yung mga malalakas na palo ng VNS, but good variation there from Haleco.
Just using his smarts. You could see JV Sumagaysay pointing to his own brain, celebrating with Haleco. Oh, Calado. It seems like he got a touch there.
Yes. Even our first referee said na there was a block touch, so the point will go to Savouge.
20-23. Calado, that's long.
That error will give the set point to VNS.
This is looking like their best set so far against Savouge in this conference. 24 serving 20. Safely in from the middle. Reyes will get some retribution.
Much needed point for Savouge.
Angelo Reyes getting ready to serve. Gilles Torres will return up front.
But now Reyes needs to make sure na papasok tong service niya dahil medyo nakakadami na silang service errors.
That one is in. Nice pass. Reverse set, and it's Haleco scoring off the block. VNS will get set number 1 in the battle for bronze.
Good game here for VNS Griffins. Kahit na nauna, good start ng Savouge at humabol tong VNS. Sila pa nakalamang nung latter part of the first set, and ganda na ng momentum nila. Hindi na nila pinakawalan yon and got this first set.
There's that last play by Brian Haleco, maximizing the opportunity.
battle for the bronze. Now, one of the teams that have really raised the bar, who have continued to progress each and every season, are the Savouge Spin Doctors. And I spoke to one of their main gunners, Mark Calado, and although it's not how they planned the season to go, nawala na ang kanilang paghihinayang. They are now focused on their latest goal, which is a podium finish. Now, for Mark, he also shared his most memorable experience this conference at dalawa daw. Both their round 2 matches versus Signal and versus Crisscross. Both a 5-setter loss, but they also played their best games. Now for Mark, it's memorable for him because it taught them mental toughness, to stick together even during the tough times, and to also remember the feeling of losing at a 5-setter loss just because they couldn't close out in the clutch. And with that, they want to change that result the next time it happens to them. Migs and Paneng?
Those were the 2 best scoring performances of Mark Calado in Savouge's conference. But now let me remind everybody that the 2025 FIVB Men's World Championship tickets are now available. Head on over to www.philippineswch2025.com/about/tickets and get yours now. Mark Calado getting the rejection against CJ Segi.
The set was actually too low for Segi, and naunahan na ni Calado yung spiker on top of the net. Take a look at this. Nowhere to go for CJ Segi.
Biggest lead extended by Savouge, now 9-2. Here's Gilles Torres. Pangulabnan on to JV Sumagaysay.
Finally, a much-needed point for VNS. Ang tagal na doon ni Torres sa service area. But take a look at that, avoiding his blockers. That was JV Sumagaysay on the quick hit.
Savouge combination, and that went wide for Antonio, but apparently there was a touch.
There was. First combination hit for this set, and a quick side out for Savouge. Take a look at this again.
Yeah, it's looking like set 2 of the semis. It was 25-14. Savouge against VNS. Only 3 points scored so far by the Griffins.
Oh!
Nice save there by Narciso. Now it's Calado who's denied.
Kill block there from Sumagaysay and Haleco. But actually, medyo mababa rin yung reach on the attack ni Calado. Masyado niyang diniin yung bola straight to the hands of his blockers.
Diwa, that's a specialty actually for JD Diwa, those slides.
Short slide lang yun dahil nasa likod lang siya or near the setter. Unlike yung mga usual na nakikita natin slide attacks na talagang nasa antena na eh.
Yeah.
Ganun ka long yung set ng setters.
11-4, Calado. Really wide. But at least now they can afford to have some mistakes.
Yes. Unlike kanina na sila yung palaging humahabol, but ang laki ng errors nila for that first set. But this time, convincing second set for Savouge.
And it's turning out to be more errors for VNS. They already have matched their total errors in set 1, talking about the Griffins, which was 3. Ball up by Kulabat. Now it's Nursidik. Back row, Buboy rejected. Mangulabnan. Now they reverse it on to Casey Kulabat.
Medyo specialty din yan ni Casey, no? Na pag nakita niya yung kamay ng blockers niya or nakapwesto na, he uses his smarts and just targeting the hands, papaluin niya palabas, papacheck lang niya na no way na madedepensa or mako-cover ng Savouge.
It's now 6-12. D-ball. Antonio down the line.
Hindi hinahayaan ng Savouge magkaroon ng mini run itong VNS dahil palagi silang may quick side out, and whenever they go for that first ball, sakto kay Narciso.
JC has definitely made his impact coming off the bench in this game. Nice return by Savouge. It's Haleco. Deflection. Jones. Narciso.
Oh.
Torres. And no save here for the Spin Doctors.
Medyo hindi naabutan ni Torres yung set na yun ni Narciso. But ang laki naman ng lamang ng Savouge ngayon with 6 points for the second set. But we saw the run also from VNS during the first set. So as much as possible, if you're Savouge, alagaan nila itong lamang na to dahil pag nagkaroon ng magandang place ang VNS, didikit yung point nila sa lamang ng Savouge.
Torres, pinabawi. Well, that's what you mentioned. They find answers quickly, but VNS is questioning kung pumasok ba o hindi, pero wala namang challenge.
Yeah, they will not use their challenge card, so the play will continue.
14, serving 7, Shawi Caritativo. Kulabat, first ball, we send it to the open. Segi denied, and nobody's there to save that ball.
That's right. Blockings, offense, and defense, everything working well for the Savouge Spin Doctors. Nawala yung ganda ng laro ng VNS coming from the first set. This is a totally different body language and then aggressiveness inside the court, service. Good services from Savouge, which results to service aces. But take a look at
tuloy-tuloy namin yung ginagawa namin and mas lalo namin i-push yung sarili namin. Tapos yung enjoyment namin sa laro para makuha namin yung panalo ngayon and maging momentum namin para sa susunod na game namin. Hindi dapat kami magre-relax and kailangan namin kunin pa rin yung battle for bronze namin.
Get your daily dose of sports updates on Starting Lineup, Mondays to Fridays, 6:30 p.m. live on Filipinas Live and on One News, also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Now we refocus, as mentioned by Gils Torres. This is the battle for bronze, game number 1. VNS taking on Savouge. It's a new player on the court for the Griffins, Terence Martishon, one of their youngsters. The ball blocked.
courtesy of that double block from Torres and Calado. Ang ganda ng blockings ng Savouge for this set, really challenging the attackers of VNS. But if you're VNS, you know, ang ganda na pinakita nyo ng first set. You got the first set, so as much as possible, wag na nilang pakawalan yung momentum na yon. But we're seeing everything working well on the side of Savouge.
Joyce went crashing onto the side. Buti lang, nasalo siya ng isa sa mga staff natin. May onting yakap na naganap.
But you gotta admire that from the Savouge squad, no? Na kahit na sobrang laki ng lamang nila, talagang never say die attitude here.
Oh! Gils Torres with a response.
Again, quick side out and credit to NRC, so really activating his middle attackers. And ang ganda nung pinapakita ng mga middle attackers niya, gandang connection between him and Torres, especially Torres.
Torres, by the way, has 13 points already in this game. Off of 5 attacks, 5 blocks, and 3 aces. He's now at the service line. Oh, that's in! Ace number 4 for Gils Torres.
Parang nakita ko na yan kanina. Nakakala ko mag-outside yung serve niya. Pero biglang lalapag sa dulo ng court. It will clip the line and a service ace here again for Torres.
I mean, isn't that the purpose of a float? Was it a float?
It was. It was a float,
right?
so serve, yeah.
It's the very reason why you do it. He just did the same thing. This time received. And Haleko will now score. Apparently was a violation committed by Savouge. Now we have Titus Villacruzes. Oh no, this is Terence.
Yeah,
Martishon.
Terence.
Titus is at the front row right now.
Good serve.
Hermeto first ball. It's Calado. Cross.
Oh,
The dig
what
there.
defense
by
there.
Another libero. And it's all worth it as Casey Colabat scores.
That's right, but what a defense there also from the libero of VNS.
That was James Curitana. Bata rin yan. I'm pretty sure he's born 2008. So he's what, 17 years old. Antonio to the back. Lumulabnan. Now to Casey.
Oh,
That's short.
yeah, ang layo ni Casey doon. But ang hirap din kasi adjust lang. Ang layo ng pinanggalingan ng bola or second set. But this is a 10-point advantage for Savouge.
Paige Paglaon will return alongside Mads Gampong. Paglaon was the starting setter in this game for Coach Sidney Calderon. He was the former star setter of Emilio Aguinaldo College. His former rival is the guy that he just replaced. JC and Narciso, sila yung naglaban sa finals.
But that
Perpetual
was
versus
before.
EAC. Yes,
Yeah.
nagkampi na sila ngayon.
Oo.
Back set, Gampong. Oh, bumalik! Jonas couldn't save it.
Nagkagulo sila on the defense talking about Savouge. But take a look what happened there. Dahil ang taas ng bounce ng bola, ang daming mga magko-cover doon. Pero, Jonas, medyo naguluhan yata siya because Gampong was there in front of him.
I'm sure they also had to make sure that Gampong wasn't going to get injured, as now it is a service error by Titus Villacruces. Sa pa yan. Under 18 pa yan. And I know that because they recently won the NCR meet. Magpapalarong pambansa po.
Magpapalarong
ang mga
pambansa pa
yan.
siya.
That's happening late May.
Oh,
At now it is Haleko, just unable to find a good angle there.
yeah, because the ball was too near the net. Hinayaan na lang niya yun kasi yung motion niya is pa-forward to try and get that over ball. Pero usually yun yung mga delikado eh. Kaya yung mga spikers natin, most of the time, pag may ganun na set, hinahayaan na lang nila just to avoid injuries as well.
22-11.
Oh,
The cross that went
yeah,
in.
inside. Bumawi naman si Haleko doon sa previous error niya.
Kasi Brian, pagbiruan sa akin yan eh. Sabi ko, hindi ko pa nilalabas yung tunay mong laro. Sabi niya, tunay kong laro. Parang Brian Pagunas eh.
Why not?
Oo, kaya niyang biruin yun kasi kaibigan niya talaga si Brian. He does get some tips from him. As now, it is a point for Casey Colabat. Nagsasagutan ang ating dalawang kupunan.
Mostly na sets na binibigay ng VNS sa mga wing attackers nila. Nahihirapan sila mag-activate ng middle attackers because of their first ball.
Set up to Shawi, block, and that went out.
Yeah, outside.
An immediate celebration by Shawi Caritativo, the second best scorer in this conference for the Savouge Spin Doctors. Look at him. Just look at the coaches of Savouge celebrate. May mga players talaga na kailangan ganun yung vibe, no? Yung
Yes.
aura para mailabas nila yung best nila.
Oo, parang titingin ka sa coach mo, sabihin, nakita mo yun, coach?
Oo.
Ganda ng palo.
It's now 23-13. Hero Austria is back to serve.
Good serve.
Floresca slide. Nice block by Shawi. It's Casey. The save by Hero. Oh, that's centro by Caritativo and straight out. At ngayon, iba na. Napakamot na ng ulo si Shawi with that mistake.
Oh, sayang yung save ni Hero.
Oo nga.
And a good decision there by Casey letting that ball go out.
It's 14-23. Nice pass by Calado. Combination. Gampong was blocked. Back row. Buboy. Long. But Savouge wants a touch. They will challenge this. Oh, it's actually a net fault challenge.
Oh, okay.
Are they aware that they put up a different sign, or was it the intention all along?
That I'm not sure because everyone was saying, I mean,
The gesture.
the gestures from Spin Doctors, and even Coach Sydney was signaling check.
Yep. I hope they realize that this is what's happening. Because the referees will be checking a different thing if that's the case. Let me remind everyone that the score in set 2 in the semis between these two was 25-14. As it stands, it is 24-14. And the story is looking the same, with VNS winning the opening set and Savouge wanting to return and equalize. Later on, we'd also like to remind everybody that it's going to be game number 1 of the championship series between Signal HD and the Crisscross King Crunchers. We're going to look at the net. Ayun,
no.
tama ang challenge.
Yes. Ibang nakita ng coaches on the bench. Successful challenge by the Spin Doctors. So the point will go to them.
Yes.
They're just asking our referees on who will be the next server, and it's Mads Gampong, the service area now for the Spin Doctors.
A 10-point lead for the Spin Doctors. This is for the set. Over ball. A chance to end it. B-ball, Mads Gampong, and he overcooked it.
Yeah, I think the set was a bit too low for back row hitters. Kaya hinabol yun ni Mads Gampong, and halos wala nang spin yung bola niya on the back row hit.
May onting gigil mula kay Mads. But then he is known for his power. 15-24. Shawi. Page. Kabawi. Denial by VNS. This is a sky ball. KC. Floresca on to Titus. Still alive. Buboy had to recalculate, and that was it.
Yeah. Pinalo pa niya ng malakas yung kahit hindi diretso yung approach niya, but a good hit there from Calado. And a good set won by the Spin Doctors. They had a better second set, way better compared to the first set because they only scored, though they were able to score 22, but from start to finish, Savouge has a good game here for the second set.
Savouge versus VNS. And again, it's looking like a mirror of the semifinal game between these two. Savouge dropping set 1 in tight fashion against VNS, and then they dominated set number 2.
That's right, but you know the big difference here from the Savouge Spin Doctors is for sure they were able to limit their errors, especially in the service area, and they always have a quick side out. Quick side out meaning na kahit nagka-error sila, chance ng VNS to get a mini run pero pinuputol kagad ng Savouge dahil once they get a good first ball, activated kagad yung mga middle attackers nila, and their blocks were on point. Take a look at that. The Spin Doctors had 9 attack points and 5 kill blocks, plus 4 service aces for that set. Compared to the first set, they had 10 errors, but this time during the second set, they only had 4 errors. But for the VNS naman, they had more errors because 3 errors in first set, but this time 7 errors for VNS, and really different body language from the VNS squad dahil unlike nung first set na very aggressive sila, everyone really contributing on the attack department and then good offense from their squad, nawala yun nung second set. And maybe because also ang ganda ng blocking ng Savouge. So coming to this third set, same lineup ni Coach Sidney na ginamit ng second set and same here for Coach Ral for VNS.
Arena Plus, astig sa sports. Astig din ang nilalaro ni Gilles Torres in this game so far. He's the top scorer with 14 big ones. Among the 14, we've seen 5 attacks, 5 blocks, and 4 aces.
I think it was Torres who started that good game for Savouge because yun yung antagal niya sa service area and scored a couple of service aces.
And he's going to score another one. An attack point for Gilles to start set 3.
He got the first point for their squad.
Now I'm going to have to look at the statistics all conference long. He has scored in double figures 3 times. And give me more time to locate his conference high as Haleko pushes that ball through.
And a pancake save by Dionis.
Calado couldn't score. Back row for Kulabat. That was out. But VNS will get the point.
It was out, but a net touch violation called on Torres.
This is Rashnur Siddiq with ones across the board. And our seesaw.
Oh, what a set!
Saved by Kulabat. The counter with CJ. Coverage by Kulabat. Segi again. And now he swipes it off. It's still... Nope. Out na yun. Mahirap na yung anggulong yun.
Yeah. Well, good effort by Savouge. But grabe. Credit that point to KC because he was the one who got the down-the-line defense and a coverage as well. Back-to-back good defense from KC. And what they finished there from Segi. Using the hands of his blockers to get that point.
Another save by KC. Chance ball. Open. Calado is blocked. And that goes to the side.
Grabe, doble effort ngayon ng Savouge because ang ganda ng defense ng VNS.
Yan naman ang maasahan mo kay KC Kulabat. Hindi nagkukulang yan in terms of floor defense. He even had a triple-double in round 1 versus Navy. 3 double-doubles. And kanina napapansin natin yung digging niya. Actually, reception efficiency niya ang ganda in this conference. Even had 22 excellent receptions in the semis versus Chris Cross. Oh, scramble. No save there for Savouge.
Take a look at that attack from Calado, but a kill block from Savouge.
Napapalitan tayo sa set 3. VNS up 3-2.
That was so close. Oh, but our first referee said it was inside.
Hirap kasi nun para sa linesman. Matatamaan na siya. So umilag siya eh. May onting disruption sa kanyang line of sight. Good thing is the first referee was able to correct it. No challenge needed. This is the biggest lead in the set. Block. Wow, great effort by Shawi. Unfortunately, he sent the ball to the side.
Well, hindi siya sure kung mag-outside yung bola, but we always say, when in doubt, get the ball.
There's the denial against Matt Kampong, making it a 3-0 run for Jan Mangolabnan and company. 10 excellent sets already for Jan. His conference high was 22 in round 2 versus Alpha. A slide. Mangolabnan down to Haleko. Good chance for Savouge. JC back sets. Gampong. Cross. Read by Jan. KC to the right. Haleko. Not much power there. Good chance again for Savouge. Gampong denied!
That was inside. What a block from CJ Segi. Definitely, this is a much better teamwork from VNS compared to the second set. Take a look at that block.
CJ Segi feeling it. VNS will continue with its momentum. They're up 6-2 as Renzel Antonio returns. Short serve by Vince. Combination. Calado. Another
Oh.
save by Kulabat. And that's gonna go through. Segi will score off the block.
That was a tough one. Ang layo ng pinanggalingan ng second ball na yon, but CJ Segi was still able to adjust. But again, credit that point to KC because he was the one who got that defense. How did Segi do that?
Yeah.
Ang layo
Ang
ng set na
galing.
yun.
And again, this is the youngest captain that we have in the Spikers turf.
Only at 20 years old.
Quezon could not save that ball with a lot of power from Mark Calado. 3-7. There you see Coach Ralph Ocampo. A lot of pride at the sideline. That's a very busy man. Handling so many teams. Nakaka-4 at 5 practice yan sa isang araw. As now, it is a service error by Antonio. VNS up by 5. Looking really
the team and also in the league, Casey Kulabat, nakausap ko, nakwento sa akin ni Casey that he's had one of the biggest adjustments of his life because he's been out for a whole year last year due to his studies. He's a 4th-year graduating student, a UE business management major, and also he prioritized his family last year, being one of the breadwinners of his family, juggling school and working as a florist for events. And Casey, Casey, who currently weighs 78 kilos right now, used to weigh 90 kilos at the time, and he said he was already technically obese. But, you know, Casey's love for volleyball rather is undeniable. Thanks his coaches for trusting him once again para makabalik siya dito sa VNS at sa Spikers turf. And he has no plans of taking any sabbatical whatsoever from volleyball from here on out. Legs and Paneng?
a lot of info there from
I know.
Bailey Sakot. Isa-isahin natin, Paneng.
Flores.
Flores.
Yun yung ano,
Unang tumatak.
Unang tumatak sa akin. I love flowers.
I wonder if we can actually see him in events, no? Si Casey Kulabat,
Yes.
as busy as he is in volleyball. As that was a hit from the back row. And now a violation by the net. It's going to be against Rashnur Siddiq. Oh, now there's an injury to Shawi Caritativo. Mukhang natapilok.
Yes, I think so. He was holding onto his ankle.
And mind you, Shawi's presence has been vital in this game for Savouge. He didn't play in set number 1. The set which they lost.
Oh.
Ayun, natapak lang.
On his own. Is it?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah, when he was going for the side steps.
Shawi just gave us a thumbs up, but he's being helped out. Oh,
Good
sabay
vibes
ganun yung
pa.
reaction.
Poise pa rin dapat.
Okay, we'll take that as a good sign.
Yes.
That he was able to react like that. Si Bailey's na pong bahala sa atin dyan as to knowing what it's gonna mean moving forward for Shawi Caritativo in this game. Shawi, his numbers so far, 2 points, but his presence, we felt that in set number 2. The one that they won in dominating fashion. 5-9 in set 3. And lamig si JD Diwa.
But only 5 points advantage meron dito ang VNS.
This is Brian Haleco with 9 points to his name.
Better first ball.
And it's Gilles Torres scoring its 16th point. This is his highest scoring game in the entire conference.
16 points na agad. Third set pa lang tayo.
Yep. Can he actually reach maybe 25 in this game? Ang taas nun for a middle blocker.
Agree. And kakastart pa lang natin ng third set.
Yeah.
So, as long as ina-activate siya ni Narciso in the middle, he can get more points.
Antonio will give up a free ball. Quezon, mangulabnan.
Oh!
1-2. It wasn't super intentional to drop it like that, but it still worked for Jan.
But nagulat din si Mangulabnan doon dahil sumambit sa net which means na bumagal na yung bola on the side of Savouge, but not a good response there from their defense.
Make it 11-6. Here's Casey Colabat. Recently lost 12 kilos. Dami nun.
I know.
And Narciso, back row for Buboy. And he scores off the block. Calado now with his game face on.
Yeah, because they had a very good second set. And then parang bigla nilang pinakawalan or bumagal yung laro nila coming into this third set.
We now have Hero Austria serving. They're down by 4. Ball up by Segi. Back set, Haleco.
Oh!
Blocked by Mark Calado.
But grabe yung reach na yun ni Calado on the block. Like, ang layo natin. Pero kitang-kita ako kung paano niya na-penetrate yung block na yun.
1-1. There you go.
Yeah.
Mark Calado. No signs of slowing down. He has 12 points now. Segi. Oh, that was above and beyond. But it seemed like there was a touch.
There was.
Apparently, it was the intention all along for CJ Segi. It's now 12-8. Calado has a target. He will hit. And that's going to go to our patron section. Here we
But
go,
again,
Panay.
quick side out from the side of Savouge. Yan yung ginawa nila nung second set na kaya lumaki yung lamang nila. Hindi na nagkaroon ng chance yung VNS because they always have an answer whenever they commit an error after.
9-12. Segi. Got a hand.
Oh!
Austria couldn't put it back up.
Ang taas din yung daan ng bola ni Segi. And that's a good contact for wing attackers, no? Na as much as possible, get a high reach and a high contact on the open hit dahil for sure the blockers will be there. And pag ang baba ng daan ng bola mo, ang laki ng chance na mabublock ka.
Mark Calado, though, continues to respond. He's owning this moment now for Savouge. It's been a nice stretch for Buboy. Make it 10-13. Renzel Antonio. That is long. Another error. (14-10) VNS in set 3. CJ Segi. Austria first ball. And Narciso opens up. Calado muli.
Nahihirapan itong defense ng VNS kung paano nila pipigilan itong scoring machine ng Savouge na si Mark Calado.
He's starting to become scary. 15 points. And there's that serious look. It's been consistent from Calado. There you go, the response from JB Sumagaysay. The man who continues to recover from his strained knee injury is able to reach for that one. (15-11). Marmeto first ball. Oh, that's long.
Rinig pa lang natin sa contact niya sa bola, no?
Flat din.
Oo, flat, no spin. So, 5-point advantage here for VNS.
Important na itong conference na to sa amin lahat kasi yun nga, and magaan talaga, magigain talaga yung next na papasok sa team namin. Tulad ng mga bata, ito yung mga batang kasama namin. Magigain talaga sila ng confidence towards sa next conference. So yung sobrang important sa amin na itong conference na to.
Nakakatuwang i-describe ni CJ Segi yung mga bata sa team nila as a 20-year-old himself.
Siya na yung kuya sa team nila.
He will be or he is expected to suit up for UAP season 88. Depende na lang kung anong offer ang kanyang tatanggapin. May 7 offers siya apparently.
I know.
But UAP season 87 volleyball is live and exclusive here on Signal. Watch it all live on the UAP Varsity Channel 1 Sports and Filipinas Live because legends start here. No! Onti na lang, papasok na para kay JB Sumagaysay. Hindi lang umabot.
But sakto yun sa pwesto in our season na nakatalikod siya sa net, ha? I'm not sure kung nakita niya na it was going very short.
But it's part of the responsibility of the setter, right?
Yeah.
The short serves.
Sila mag-aabang doon. If nasa front row sila.
16-12. Haleko, blocked by Hero. Segi there to retrieve it. Kulabat tried to swipe it down to no avail.
Wow, kanina 5 points advantage meron ang VNS. Ngayon 3 points na lang.
VNS players trying to calm each other down. Angelo Reyes will now be serving. We're down by 3. Ball up by Segi. Mangalagnan pushes. And Casey will score.
Ang tight ng set play na yon for VNS dahil Norsidic went for the big quick tapos andun na nakadikit lang si Casey. Pumalo ng open.
As long as it works. Haleko long. You could feel the nerves getting into the players now. I mean, some would just consider it a sense of urgency now that we are at the latter part of the set. We're about to reach closing time in set 3. This is JC and Narciso. Push to the open. Kulabat! No touch.
Yeah, no block touch. Oh, wow, 2 points na lang. Lamang ng VNS. If you're VNS, you have to have a good first ball and mangulabnan, activate his middle attacker para mag-iba yung position ng blockings ng Savouge. But this is not a good first ball from them.
Kulabat, cross. Jonas with a dig and a look. Back row for Buboy.
What a back row hit there from Calado.
And he's just looking like who he was in Far Eastern University. The volume that he's getting.
And the consistency also from Calado na alam niya na pag sa kanya, or the squad, alam na pag sa kanya ibibigay yung bola, ang taas ng efficiency niya to get a point.
VNS just continues to find ways to hold on to this advantage. 18-16. These two teams went down the wire in 2 of their 4 sets previous game. 2 extended sets at that. Casey Kulabat, service in. Meto first ball, the quick. Good denial by VNS. Back row again. Calado dug to the side. And Casey will send it through. Chance ball, Savouge and Narciso. Torres. Oh, mad scramble. VNS almost made it work. Just couldn't get it through.
Grabe, everyone really working hard here on the floor defense from the side of VNS. But I think whenever si Casey nasa likod, parang dalawa yung libero mo dyan ang ganda yung magbasa ng attackers ng Savouge and hindi lang kung saan napupunta yung defense niya, ha? Na umaabot talaga sa setter yung mga taas niya ng bola.
Oh, misread by Kulabat. It's now a deadlock at 18. And we have a timeout for Coach Ralph.
Nag-error tayo na nag-error, parang 5 errors. Receive lang muna tayo. Kalma muna kayo, receive. Galawan nyo yung serve. From the contact ng server, from contact yung gano'n, may pa left and right yan. Dapat gumagalaw ka na eh. Nakasteady ka lang na gano'n. Gagalaw ko kailan malapit na late na eh. May problema tayo sa pasa. Kailangan ayusin natin yung pasa natin.
18 all. Can VNS play cleaner volleyball against Zero Austria and company? They're streaking right now in set 3. And remember, Caritativo, Shawi tweaked his angle a while ago, forcing a substitution upon Savouge. Good thing is they're able to respond. Hero Austria, what a serve!
Ang ganda ng serve na yon. Good contact, good spin. And right from the timeout from Coach Ralph, reminding his players na they need to focus on the first ball, but definitely he will not like this one because that one is a service ace from Hero Austria.
Now they have the advantage. It is a 6-1 run by Savouge. And they have erased that deficit of 5 in this set. Just couldn't get back-to-back errors or back-to-back aces was Hero Austria, but they will challenge it. Ball in, ball out. Spin Doctors feeding themselves as they get closer to their goal, which is to achieve a podium finish in this conference. Oh, that's out.
Yeah, that was way outside. So the point will stay with VNS.
VNS, though, if they get the bronze over Savouge, boy, what a statement that's going to be.
I agree. And this is the first time na they're going for a battle for bronze.
Since 2022.
That's right.
As Calado answers back down the line for him.
No, 1-point advantage. Lumamang dito ang Savouge. Kanina sila yung humahabol sa VNS. As much as 5-point lead meron ng VNS. But ngayon, wala na. Sila na ang down by 1 point.
Mark Calado has come alive, scoring 8 points in this set. A total of 17 now for him. And now, VNS could not return that ball. Savouge will continue.
It was actually a tight set for Segi, and he had a hard time to adjust for that ball.
21-19. Savouge trying to pull away in crunch time. 17 points for Gilles Torres.
Over ball again.
Receive. Oh! Hindi na maximize ni Buboy ang regalo.
Medyo nanggigil siya dun eh. And was it a kill block from Mangulabnan? I'm not sure if it was, but let's take a look at this again. It was.
Natamaan ni
Yeah.
Jan.
Good first ball from Austria.
Pambawi.
Yeah.
You know, this could be his time after all. Mark Calado in closing moments. Porsyentuhan na ba para kay JC and Narciso?
Well, I think so too, because if you're in Narciso, and sobrang maliit lang yung lamang nila ngayon, like 2 points na pwedeng mahabol pa to ng VNS. So, as much as possible, go for the hot hands now to try and close this set right away.
Wow, Brian Haleko with a response. Just had to hammer that ball down the line.
Take a look at that again. Hit from Haleko. Grabe. Ang liit na ng pinagdaanan ng bola na yun sa down the line, but still was able to target that area.
Calado tip. Mangulabnan, pancake save. Casey got a hand. And that went down. We have a deadlock.
2 points advantage ng Savouge kanina. Wala na. We're tied at 22 and timeout here by Coach Sydney.
Hanggat mataas yung bola, paluin nyo na. Gamitin nyo na yung ano. Ano na lang tayo guys. Lamang tayo oh. Tayo ang magre-receive. Tayo ang atake. Okay? Walang matataranta. Mark, JC, pag ano mamaya, huwag mo na bitawan. I-ano mo na lang. Sahod mo na lang. Sahod ka na lang kasi meron naman sa likod magbabantay eh. Bawi tayo guys.
It's a virtual race to 3 in set number 3 of Game 1 of the Battle for Bronze. It is Savouge versus VNS, JC Narciso and company looking to regain advantage. They were up by 2 just a while ago after being down by as many as 5 against KC Kulabat and the rest of VNS. CJ Segi will now be serving. Calado.
Oh, good check.
Segi to the right. Haleko got a hand and he will score.
Yeah, he did. But good check from the blockers of VNS early on with that combination hit from Calado. And of course, take a look at that opposite hit from Haleko.
It's a 3-0 run by VNS. Regalo! Too easy for the veteran JV Sumagaysay.
Bantay na niya yung overball na yun. Talking about JV Sumagaysay. And that was a good placement from him. Iniiwas niya sa defense ng Savouge. Time out again, Coach Sydney.
Kaya pa yan, ha? Kaya pa yan. Receivean lang natin. Alalay kasi maliit yung setter natin eh. Di bali nang maghahabol siya kesa yung ano na, eh, matangkad na sa harap eh. Ah, guys, kaya yan. Tara, tara! Maturity.
Oh, I like that reminder by the end. Maturity. Against a younger squad at
I
that.
know.
This was the last play.
Yeah, but if you're this situation now na set point na ng kalaban mo, as much as possible, you just have to stay relaxed and composed. Start with a good first ball and Narciso will be able to set the ball and activate his hot hands. Now with Calado.
There you go. It started with a nice pass.
Yes. That was Hero Austria who got the first ball.
Another point for who else? Buboy Calado, who now proceeds to the back. There's a switch up among setters. Paglaon replacing Narciso. 23-24. Will it be an extended set? Or can VNS end it? A misreceive. Sumagaysay sending it through. A good chance. Page open. Hero outside. And if you're VNS, or check that, Savouge, if you're the Spin Doctors, you might as well.
Yes, they still have one challenge card left. Might as well just use it, right? And medyo tight yun eh. Dahil parang medyo pa-outside yung palo ni Austria. But we know the intention and we saw it from him na he waited for the hands of his blockers. He saw it and pina-check niya yung bola doon na medyo pataas. But we'll see from this replay or review if there was indeed a block touch.
Let me remind everybody that since this is the battle for bronze, every set matters. Every point matters all the more because there's a possibility that this series would end in 2 games, even though it would be 1-1. Kasi pag natapos na po ang finals natin, tapos na rin po ang battle for bronze natin. And if it comes to that, it will be settled by number of sets won and the point differential is now. Was there a touch or not?
There is.
So, a successful challenge.
It was a successful challenge. It was from the hands of JV Sumagaysay.
There's a big smile on the face right now of JV Sumagaysay. So we have an extended set number 3, 24-all. Oh! An ace for Mark Calado. They get set point.
And a timeout here by VNS to try and take away the momentum from Mark Calado.
Kailangan nyo magtiwala sa sarili nyo, ay mga libero ang hirap. Hindi ka pwede maglaro ng walang libero. Hindi pwede, kailangan nyo magtrabaho. Kailangan nyo magtrabaho ng maayos. Wala mag-down muna. Bawi na lang ulit. Sige, bawi lang isa pa, ha? Go! Tulungan!
This is a make it or break it moment for VNS. This is where your character will get tested. In crunch time, in the Spikers turf against one of the contenders that we considered from the start of the season. And just a while ago, they had set point. They were about to win it already, if not for the successful challenge by Savouge. Mark Calado serving for the set. Pangulabnan, back set to Haleko. Oh, he overcooked that one, but now it's their time to challenge for a block touch. Savouge confident that it was clean.
But it was actually good serves from Mark Calado that caused problems to VNS. Dahil kanina, yung first attempt niya on the serve, medyo nagkaroon ng not good first ball ang VNS, which resulted to a free ball for Savouge. But nung second serve naman ni Calado, nag-service ace na siya doon.
Yep. That's Mark Calado, who leads all scorers with 20 points now. This is the 4th time in the conference that he has reached that mark. The Rizal Memorial Coliseum has quieted down, waiting for the result. Was there a touch or not? Ooh. Ooh. It was clean. Yep, it's an unsuccessful challenge. The finger looked like it moved, pero hindi niya necessarily natamaan ang bola. Konting pampakabalang as now.
Shawi Caritativo. From midway in that last set was truly felt, and Shawi, who sprained his right ankle, there was no foot that he stepped on. It was an accident, just lost his footing, and according to their team physician, Coach Pawik Sagir, it's a minor sprain. They did ankle exercises right after to examine the injury. They taped it up, and Shawi is very much capable of coming back on the floor. And according to Coach, they have nothing to worry about. And just some added information on Savouge. One of Savouge's signings from the off-season, Mads Gampong, comes from a proud lineage of volleyball stars from Tawi-Tawi. Gampong is related to Spiker Surf scoring record holder Ranran Abdila. He also played with one of the best players to come out of Southern Islands in Fauzi Ismail in NU. For one of the smallest places in the country, Tawi-Tawi has consistently produced top volleyball stars. Back to you, Migs and Paneng.
You know, that sounded like it was straight out of a promotion for Tawi-Tawi, you know, that it can produce stars for men's volleyball. Those three, by the way, they're premier players.
I agree.
Right now, we're seeing a premier matchup between Savouge and VNS. The score is 9-8 in favor of the Spin Doctors in set 4. Payo sends that ball in. Mangolabdan to the open. And here come the Spin Doctors. Austria!
Oh!
Yes!
Finally, a point from Hero Austria. Medyo nahihirapan siya mag-adjust early on in this set, but take a look at that kill on the cross court. A sharp one, actually, from Hero Austria.
It's now 10-8. Charlie Magpayo. Ball up by Casey. Mangolabdan goes to Haleko. Cross. Star from Tawi-Tawi keeping it alive. Back row, Calado. The chase for Jan. Brian again. What an angle for Brian Haleko.
That's right. It was not a strong hit, but a very good placement from Haleko.
And his approach was quite awkward. Still getting the point and trimming the lead down to 1. Buboy first ball, over received. Marmeto keeping that alive. Back row for CJ. Sent back. Jan to Casey. Nice read by Casey Gulabat.
Casey, one of the leading scorers for the Griffins. And actually, pag nasa back row din siya, ang laki ng tulong niya on the first ball, and especially during defense.
Giles Torres, though, responding to the call. One of the leading scorers of Savouge with 18. Calado so far leads all with 23. On the other end for VNS, we've seen 14 from Haleko, 12 points from Segi, and 10 from Kulabat. Oh, nice hit by Rash Nur Siddiq. That's only what? His second point in this game.
Wow. But that was the first slide attack also from Nur Siddiq.
They have the lead, 11-10. KC Kulabat. Ball up by Calado. They send it to Mads.
Oh, no
Rejected.
coverage.
Has to feel really good for Jan Mangolabdan.
First time nalalabang sa scoreboard ng VNS for this set. They're up by 2 points.
Now 12-10. Can they send us to a set number 5? A miss received by Marmeto, uncharacteristically. Back row and a miss hit for Mark Calado.
Yeah, it was too low. The set was okay. It was high, but a mistimed approach and contact there for Calado.
It's now a 3-0 run for KC Kulabat and company. Can they sustain this, though? It's been a theme in this game for VNS.
Good serve, but
that's in.
It was inside.
A judgment call by Rico Marmeto, one of the best liberos in the tournament. It's now 14-10 VNS.
Tayong tahimik sa loob. Usap kayo, ay kagaya niyan kanina, nakailang score na nga, hindi kayo nag-usap-usap. Guys, balik tayo. Tayo ang may momentum. Bakit sila nabaliktad? Tayo may momentum.
Hey, one team! Support! Pumuntos tayo.
Time to regroup for the Savouge Spin Doctors. after we saw this service ace by Casey Colabat. Look at that. A beautiful view of the ball.
That's right. Grabe yung float na yun.
Oo. Nababasa mo yung
brand.
tatak eh. Oo. Float talaga yun.
Yes. Palagi ko sinasabi, pag nababasa mo yung brand, ang ganda ng float.
So will Casey do it again? Still a good one. Kampong. Haleko with a bit of a misdig at the net. Nice. Great read by CJ Segi.
A smart one, actually. Ang hirap nun ha. Swipe out na may blockers. Tapos ang layo ng pinanggalingan ng bola. 4 points advantage. Meron dito ang VNS.
Now a 5-0 run. Casey will continue to serve. Still in.
Oh!
Gilles Torres. There's the response for you.
But that was a good first ball. And of course, Paglawan activating his middle attacker right away.
Make it 19 points now in this game for Gilles Torres, the star middle blocker of Savouge. Ang ulabnan, D-Bolt. Calado there to save it. Jonas back to Buboy. A bit tight, but he still makes it work.
That's right. Walang nakapwesto doon sa side ng VNS on who will get the line defense.
24 points now in this game for Mark Calado. Jan, quick denial by Gilles Torres. He has 20 of his own.
Mini run here for the Savouge Spin Doctors. Take a look at that block from Torres. One-on-one with Norsidik in the middle.
A 3-0 run, make it 4-0 Savouge. We have a deadlock at 15.
It all started with the good serves again from Hero Austria. Iniba na niya yung serve niya eh. Dahil kanina nagsispin siya, right? Top spin serve, but this time float serve from Austria.
Segi sent through by Nursidik. John is all over the court. Calado! Nice read by Buboy. 25 points now for Buboy Calado.
Sila pa yung
See the stats of Mark Frederick Calado in this game. 25 points, tying his third best scoring output so far in the conference. CJ Segi on the other end has 13 points for the VNS Griffins. Looking at the scoring patterns, we have 3 players in double figures for VNS, and mostly Calado and Torres for Savouge, as now it is a service error by Hero Austria.
So it's a well-distributed sets from Mangulabnan because, like what you mentioned, there were at least 3 players from VNS who has a double-digit scoring output.
Calado, a lot of power again.
But Casey was there.
Yeah. Now we gotta know the digs and receptions of Gulabat in this game. Calado! Just had to make sure that he was gonna score the point.
Hindi sumabay yung blockers kay Calado. So it was actually an open block for him. Take a look at that.
Just too easy.
Yeah. Kanina kahit 3 yung blockers ni Calado, nagagawa niya ng paraan. What more pa kung open block?
17-16. It was 11-15 VNS a while ago. CJ Segi now responding to the call.
Quick side out for VNS.
Golden hour for Hero Austria. Diretso sa kanya yung sun natin.
Nag-glow siya doon.
Oo. And he owned the moment. Back set, Mads. Ganda. Kulabat still there to save it.
Oh!
And the push by Segi. Paglaon. Kalado! Nagkatamaan pa sina Mangulabnan at Kulabat.
Double the effort dito ang defense ng VNS.
28 points now for Mark Calado, tying his previous game output, which was also the second highest scoring output in this conference for Buboy. His conference high is 36, which he achieved versus Chris Cross in round 2. This is JC and Narciso, 13 excellent sets. Service in, KC receives, Mangulabnan to the open, and Haleko did not score there. Now they bump it to CJ. Jonas!
Oh, nice defense.
The dig and the pose for Jonas. Now it's Sumagay side. Jonas there again. Calado! Yes, sir! 29 big ones for Mark Calado.
A credit to Diones with those good defense and really not allowing VNS to score a point against him whenever he's there in the back row. Take a look at that finish from Mark Calado.
JB Sumagay side. That's the strongest hit so far in this game.
I agree. First time yata na humarap dun si Sumagaysay na straight lang yung attack niya because ng mga previous sets, nakaharap siya sa cross-court pero dinadaan niya on the opposite side, yung palo.
19-18 combination to Mark Calado. 30 points now for him.
That's 30 points for Mark Calado. Giving a 2-point advantage here for the Spin Doctors. Credit that combination play.
2018, Sumagaysay. Jonas there with the dig and the look. Austria. Ball up by Mangulabnan. Sumagaysay going on to KC. Narcisa had to chase that one. Magpayo. Denied by JB. Sumagaysay is up for this duel versus Mark Calado, by the way.
I agree, but during that last sequence, JV Sumagaysay got that point dahil ang baba nung set na binigay ni Narciso sa kanyang quick attacker.
For retribution. Buboy at the back. He stepped on the line. It is 20 all. Will Savouge end this in 4 sets, much like in their semi-final game, or will VNS send us onto a deciding 5th set?
Oh, what a set!
Austria gets it down. Terence Martishon will return. It's been a while since we've seen this kid, but he had some playing time earlier in this match. A miss receive.
Oh, over ball.
Chance. JC turns around. He sends it to Hero. Segi to the right. Haleko. Magpayo there to save it. And here's Austria.
Oh!
Nice read by Hero, who points to his bench.
But a good change or variating his attack there, Hero Austria. Puro malalakas na ng palo but dropping the ball behind the blockers.
One pass lang, Sagi.
Side out lang. Yun lang muna yung pinakakailangan gawin, ha? Sige,
Guys, dalawa lang yan. Marami pa pwedeng mangyari sa 3 puntos nila. Kapitan natin yan, 1 point at a time. Walang magmamadali, okay? Focus lang, then dapat sure na yung gagawin natin. Okay. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, did we just see coaching potential from KC Kulabat?
I think so. Why not, diba?
Yeah. Great leadership from KC. But the question is, can they respond? Down by 2 here in set 4. Charlie Magpayo will serve. They're trying to end this game already. Kulabat with the receive. He asked for it. KC is blocked.
But coming from a timeout, I think medyo nagkaroon ng gigil doon. And blockers nitong Savouge really guarding him on the open hit dahil siya yung nasa front row ngayon and he has the high efficiency whenever he goes for the open hit.
Haleko. Now he will score off of Hero Austria. A much needed side out by VNS.
But if you're Savouge, they only need 2 points to close this match. So as much as possible with the serve of Haleko, they should respond with a good first ball and a play.
There you go. Nice 1-2-3 from Austria to Narciso and to Torres.
Credit that point also to the good first ball of Austria. Na akala mo mag-overball na, but Narciso was able to set that ball to his quick attacker.
Now we have 3 match points for the Savouge Spin Doctors. Double sub in. Paige Paglaon, golden hour, and a golden opportunity to end this game. Service in, received by Segi. It's KC, saved by Calado. Paglaon with a chase. Jonas will send it through. A chance for VNS. Mangulabnan onto the slide, and that was in for Nursidik.
At grabe, yung receive na yun na sobrang sakto kay Mangulabnan. Hindi na siya gumalaw who went for the set. But the slide attack there, Nursidik, and a timeout here for Savouge.
It's potentially the end game for the Savouge Spin Doctors. Let's see if this would at least ice Casey Kulabat a bit. Off of a timeout, VNS is still down by 2, 22-24, 2 match points for the Spin Doctors. Calado first ball, Paglaon, Kampong, still alive. Kulabat bumps it for CJ against 2 blockers. Page now to Hero. Austria off speed. VNS still there. Good chance. Page back to Hero. Cross scored and that's it. Hero Austria will end the game for Savouge.
And of course, Hero Austria off the bench, really contributing a lot of points for the Spin Doctors and from the service area and front row hits, with Hero Austria giving this match to Savouge Spin Doctors.
What a game though between VNS and Savouge. It's been more interesting for these two in the semis and in the battle for bronze as compared to how it was in rounds 1 and 2. And despite the injury to Shawi Carita